At least one person has been confirmed dead. This is following the strong force winds that have rocked the Eastern Cape. This death has been recorded in the Buffalo City Metro, which has been hard hit by these winds. The Metro says it is on high alert for its emergency and disaster department, also on high alert to provide the necessary services. Let's cross live now to SABC News reporter Abongile Jantjies. Abongile, a good afternoon to you. Just what do we know about this individual that has passed and what exactly happened?
Well, Naledi, as things stand from the reports that has been released by the Buffalo City Metro, it's believed that a wall fell over this woman while she was asleep. You recall that these devastating winds happened overnight at around 3 a.m. in the morning. It caused quite a panic, and at least 26 wards out of the 50 wards in the Buffalo City Metro have been affected. Power outages are being experienced, and roofs have been falling over people's homes, and really it's quite devastating outside there, and these winds are quite persistent. That much I can tell you. Even half of East London is affected by power outages as things stand. Let's bring in the Buffalo City Metro spokesperson, Sam Kelongwenya. Sir, thanks a lot for your time. We meet at quite, one could say, a sad day, but tell us more about this individual that has lost her life due to these winds.
Very sad incident, Abongile. The lady was sleeping with her husband at the Postam village, and when the strong winds came upon their house, the roof and the wall collapsed on them. Unfortunately, she did not make it. We've got teams right now on the ground trying to deal with the situation. It's one of the many incidents that are affecting our metro currently right now.
Is that the only death that has been confirmed thus far?
Well, we've got another report, but it's not confirmed yet in Stony Drift. We're still trying to establish if it is related to this current disaster or if it's something that's not affecting it. We'll be able to confirm that at a later stage.
I understand that your authorities, your disaster teams are on high alert to bring back things to normality, but how long do you think it will take for things to be restored, particularly with these power outages that it's been experienced largely here in this metro?
Well, we're coming here now at the Disaster Management Center. This is where we're converging. We're taking it an hour at a time. We'll be meeting again at 2 o'clock just to assess the damages. When it comes to electricity, you know, as much as most of East London is affected, we've got teams that have been reinforced to ensure that at least we try and bring normality to the situation. We're looking at least to restore power outages around East London this afternoon. Unfortunately, for the area of Tanzania, there's been a lot of severity. Some areas have got transformers that have been blown out, but we are working on that as well. We are urging people not to touch any power lines, but report them to us. But our teams are not going to sleep until everything is restored in the metro, and hopefully we're not going to have these devastating winds continuing throughout the night.
What's the plan for the people who have been displaced, who have lost their homes?
Well, our disaster management teams are out right now. We're going to each and every ward. We're targeting particularly the most severe affected ward. But for those households, we're going into there to assess whether there is a need for us to remove those people and put them at a nearer center. But the assessment in terms of our human settlements is to try and find temporary shelters for those that need them. We'll be working with NGOs as well as other organizations to try and assist those that are in quite need of some short-term supply, whether it's blankets, food, or any of the necessities. But in overall, we've got those reports that we'll be submitting, and hopefully none of people will be affected to such an extent that they will have to sleep outside for as long as we know about it as the Buffalo City Metro.
I know it's still early stages, but the extent of the damage cost-wise, where are we sitting?
We're looking at huge. I mean, we're running into millions. If you look into the fact that what has been affected, power outages, fortunately for us, the water supply has not been affected. There's villages in Buffalo City. As you know, we're a rural metro. We are cutting trees down. Those that have affected some of the roads. So in terms of the cost in itself, we should have a sound report at least by tomorrow morning. But at this stage, you know, we're not looking at money. We're just trying to make sure that we save as many lives as we can. And hopefully the weather gods are going to be with us.
The state of roads, how are they? Have they been affected with these trees and branches that are falling on our roads here in the Buffalo City Metro? Kindly take us through that. Maybe it might be a transport department question, but you are here and you're part of these authorities.
Yes, of course, with the Department of Transport, we do share some of the roads. Some of the areas have been trapped, like in areas like Kunupi, in areas like Beaconsfield. But at least we, as part of our Joint Operations Center, we've got people that are cutting down some of those trees. The issue there in the main is the fact that some of those trees are impeding on our power lines, so that actually affects the entire situation. But of course, we are actually urging motorists, not to drive in areas that have been severe. You saw in Dansane, there was a billboard that fell on top of a car. So those are some of the situations that we want motorists to be aware of. Be wary. If you see your car is shaking on the wind, it means that your car will not be able to be carrying itself. But of course, our traffic safety and all our disaster management services are out there. If needs be, we will declare some of those roads closed. But at the moment, it's the ones that are being affected by trees that we're trying to cut down.
And in terms of injuries, have you had reports of people being rushed to hospital due to these winds?
Yes, we've got incidences in areas like Stony Drift. Ward 24, which includes Potsdam and parts of Dansane, is the most severe affected area. Again, there we've got people that we've had to nurse and actually take care of. Fortunately, we're working with the Provincial Health Department in as far as hospitals are concerned, and hopefully there won't be any more fatalities that we're going to have to report in around this is concerned. We're really warning people to stay indoors and try and to be as safe as possible.
Thanks so much for your time. Samkelo Ngwenyana, lady, the spokesperson of the Buffalo City Metro, taking us through what has happened overnight because of these gale force winds. And really, it's quite a concern as you drive past the metro. People are inside their homes. Some of them are trying to pick up the pieces of what happened yesterday. Some of them, even the poor of the poorest who used their last monies to build their houses, some have been blown away by these winds. Really quite sad.